comes to talking about your goals and talking about your ambitions and your let's get into talking about your dreams, talking about anything. Overthinking is the enemy of executing. And I'm not just saying that like you think too much and you talk yourself out of it. No, I'm saying the idea of like envisioning yourself, doing something like, oh crap, once I do this, oh, it's gonna feel so good. Oh my God, once I get that medal, I'm gonna be like, whoa, it's gonna feel sick. It's like anything. It doesn't have to be a competition. It can be anything. I think thinking about that a lot and really focusing on the end goal and like imagining like, oh yeah, that's gonna feel sweet. You're tricking your fucking mind by imagining that. I mean, we all know what it feels like. Like imagine just thinking about whatever, like something that you want to do that's pretty big, like not just a day-to-day goal. I'm talking something that could take months or years to build up to. By putting a lot of thought into it and like, oh my God, that's gonna be sweet. It's like when I think about shit I want to do, I could sit here and fucking give myself a big ass smile on my face, like out of nowhere. But all I'm doing is fucking tricking my own brain into getting a little dopamine release that really is not very different than literally achieving the goal in reality. And by doing that, you're kind of desensitizing yourself to it. It's just, I think massive fucking goals are sweet, but as far as I'm concerned, the best way of actually making progress towards them is cutting it down to a day-by-day scale and ensuring that every day your goal is to simply take another step toward it. And by doing that, imagine if your fucking goal was you're just a regular ass Joe or a lifter, whatever, just a normal dude, and you're like, you know what? I want to fucking climb Everest. Just as an example, something that's not fucking super easy to do. I mean, fuck, man, Everest, that's lethal. That is fucking lethal, man. That takes some guts. That takes some legit effort and skill and time and planning. So, how the hell are you gonna do that? I'm sure if you sit there and you're like, oh, that would be sweet to do that. I mean, that just sounds like high school stoner campfire talk. Dude, it'd be sick if we did this. Bro, that'd be sweet. Like, that's nothing. That's just talk, That's just BS. So, if you really actually want to do that shit, then if this is the big ass goal, chop it down as small as you fucking can. Okay, I gotta work on my cardio. Alright, Stairmaster, however many minutes a day. Gradually increase that. Go on, longer hikes, whatever. Talk to people who, may know a thing about it, right? Get some more information, learn about it. Just gradually become more proficient in the realm of whatever you're going after. And then, over time, you're actually gonna start seeing, like, oh crap, this is gonna happen. And honestly, that is an absolute game changer of a mental state. The beginning of any legit endeavor, if you actually want to hunker down and do something that's not just like short term, is kind of tricky because you don't have any results. You're really going into shit blind. You don't know if you're going to have the skill to be able to do it. Some shit is just either got talent for it or you don't. You either have it either clicks for you or it's not in the cards. And I'm not saying that's like some people can never do it and some people can. I mean, everybody's different. If somebody tried to get me to start like learning how to become a professional chess player, I'd probably do like 1 hour of chess and say, this is fucking stupid. I'm not into this at all. It's not my cup of tea. But as a beginner, you just have that dream in the end, but you don't have any substance to back it up. So you just go after it. You want to see some progress. But once you actually start making some fucking gains, of course, I'm going to transition this into lifting because that's my deal. That's my shit. Once you really start making legit gains and you have some tangible proof that what you've been doing has been working, then you get that moment of, okay, now we're making moves. Now we're actually getting somewhere. And then that should just ramp up your fucking upward spiral. That's why I talk about how the beginner getting into lifting out of absolute nowhere, to an extent, I mean, this could be argued, of course, this is all subjective, but in a way, I mean, it's fucking tricky. You know, it's kind of a hard part, because I feel like I'm just re-quoting myself, because I said this same sort of speech a little bit a while ago. But the beginner doesn't have the results yet to motivate him. You know, so when I go into the gym and I get to, do my workout, I know what I'm doing. I get to have a good time, and then I get to finish the workout knowing I went fucking hard. I'm doing something that's progressing me gains-wise, and I get to fucking look at myself pumped up and say, "Oh my god, that's fucking sick." There's no chance I'm not going to go to the gym the next day, or the day after, or the day after, the day after, right, onward. But the beginner, he hasn't gotten that fun part yet. For him, it's like, go in, do a workout. It's probably hard because it's uncomfortable. I mean, for somebody who's never lifted, I mean, doing a hard working set, it's fucking hard. You're not used to that level of exertion. But after a little while, holy crap, my fucking biceps actually kind of bigger. Boy, I can actually see my chest is kind of pumped up. Oh shit, dude. Right? Once you start seeing that, that should kind of make you say, okay, now let's get extra serious. Like, let's really start kind of learning about this shit. Because I know I've gotten so and so amount of gains with, my current knowledge level and my current level of skill and whatever else. So if I keep working on it, and if I keep improving and I keep changing my trajectory towards, as close to as optimal as I can get my routine, I'm gonna be making some legit fucking gains. So totally kind of lost my train of thought there, but you get what I'm fucking saying. I'm sure there's some good shit in there. I'd say probably getting close to the end of this little chit chat, but one thing that I think can really alter the end goals, or the not the end goals, it's so much easier to lock in if you're a little bit more diligent and you're a little bit more kind of controlled of, like, just even the things that you're thinking about on a day-by-day basis. This is a little bit more of an active approach, but part of it is also going to be, if I can maybe taking a little bit of a more objective look at even just who you're hanging around. I've never really had to do that very much. I kind of just keep the grind up. But if you're always hanging out with like 5 dudes and none of them are grinding, none of them are locked in, what are the odds that you suddenly will be? You're kind of going to match the environment that you're around. Not to just dog on somebody for not being jacked, but not everybody is going to be particularly supportive of shit that you want to do, and you've got to kind of be able to have the balls to do what you want to do, regardless of that, right? You don't need everybody's fucking authorization, and you don't need everybody's approval to do some shit, and odds are you're kind of, anybody that does anything cool gets a fucking crazy amount of backlash. Name one notable person in any field, in anything, where they're literally a top dog. Name one person who gets like 0 random backlash, especially online. So that's where you got to be a little bit more fucking tough. And if you have a clear view, if you got a clear view, if you have a clear image of something that you want to achieve, and you know that it's going to be cool, in what world do you need to listen to anybody else tell you, like, nah, don't do that, that's stupid. Nah, why are you doing that, man? Right? And this is a little bit dicey, a little bit divisive to say, but dude, a classic fucking example, man, it's the fucking drinking, dog. If you got a crew of dudes every weekend on the regular, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they're out, they're slamming, dude, I'm talking blackout drunk. Now, I'm not saying everybody does that, of course, but for the guys that do, for the friend group, or what I'm saying, for like the cliques that go and do that, if you, how many times are you going to be able to hear, like, dude, why aren't you drinking, bro? What the fuck? Why aren't you drink? How many times do you want to really be around an environment while your buddies are telling that to you? Now, I'm not saying everybody's like that, but for the most part, you know, let's say you're a badass lifter, or even just a fucking athlete, you know, if your actual physical performance is something you're trying to maximize, be it for like, you know, athleticism, lifting, or even just general fucking, you know, kind of health in a way. You know, I'm no health nut, but I know that taxing my internal organs with fucking, you know, nights out is not going to be cohesive with any fucking gains whatsoever. Really the actual fucking opposite. You know, but how often are you going to be able to hear like, dude, come on, just have one. You know, so that's my thoughts there, right? That's where you gotta potentially make an executive decision, and maybe pull yourself away from somebody like that. And it's hard, you know, that's pretty hard for sure. I haven't had to I'm not particularly prone to peer pressure too much, but you know, if all your friends are dogging you, it's so easy to completely ease that tension by saying, I mean, you could go into it like, dude, I'm not drinking, bro, I gotta lift in the morning. It's gonna be absolutely so easy to say, you know, and completely ease that tension and just go, all right, give me one, give me a couple, give me a few more, wake up in the morning, not ideal, you know, not ideal. So that's my stance there. The less you can do anything that's going to interfere with your gains, the better. And you got to be able to kind of be a little bit responsible with, you know, the people that you're hanging around, because it's not a myth. You know, this isn't just speculation. You're going to kind of match the environment that you put yourself in. So if you kind of ease up on it, odds are, or if you kind of, you know, shrink it down, make it a little bit tighter, odds are you're going to have a better